Hello kids, welcome back to Satire Goat, the most educated and pristine channel on YouTube.
Hell breezy. Let me show you how to keep the dice rolling when you're doing that thing over there, homie. Hey, let's go! I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away.
You've seen the title, I've seen the title, I know why you're all here, and it's to get recommendations on movies to watch on Netflix in this downtrodden time that we live in. So, welcome to the top 5 best movies to watch on Netflix that you probably haven't seen already. I'm not gonna waste your time. You wanna not be bored, you wanna watch good movies on Netflix, I'm gonna give you a list, bitch.
Just know that you will never fight me.
Starting off the list at number 5, we have We're All Gonna Die One Day. This disease is destroying our country, killing our kinsfolk, and slowly ripping us apart, our humanity. We have people rioting in Senate state buildings, taking guns and murdering human beings without any sense of remorse or empathy. We don't eat Chinese food anymore. We don't even drink fucking Corona anymore. The beer. We don't drink it because we're scared. We're scared of our own mortality, of our own humanity. And that brings us to our number 5 pick, The Bye Bye Man.
Stop, 'cause you know I gotta win every day. Really wanna pop me. Just know that you will never fight me.
Have you seen The Bye Bye Man? No, you haven't, because it's on this list. Oh, let me tell you guys about The Bye Bye Man. The Bye Bye Man is about a group of teenagers who are doing some stuff they really shouldn't do. Those rowdy teenagers. They move into a new house, and these rowdy teenagers begin indulging in actions that aren't very righteous for teenagers to indulge in. And since those teenagers are indulging in these actions, a haunted drawer, begins to haunt them, and they all begin to die due to their own character flaws and their immoral actions one by one until all the teenagers die and the evil wins in the end, proving that you need to stay pure to stay alive. Bye Bye Man reminds me a lot of a donkey because it's ass. Number 4 on the list, we have Truth or Dare.
I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away, but I know that I don't.
Have you seen Truth or Dare? You probably haven't, because it's on this list. Truth and Dare is about a group of teenagers doing things that teenagers really shouldn't do. And as these teenagers all get together in a group to do these immoral actions, a haunted game begins to kill them all one by one. And as these teenagers do actions that aren't considered righteous, they all die due to their character flaws and the immoral actions that they're doing. And then they all die in the end, meaning that evil wins. Also meaning that the reason the teenagers died was because they weren't pure. You know, for some reason, Truth or Dare just reminds me of two hills with a crack in the middle. Because it's ass. At number 3, we have the movie Polaroid. Polaroid is about a group of teenagers who are doing things that teenagers really shouldn't do, and as they all get together in this giant group, they begin doing immoral actions until they realize they're being haunted by a haunted camera. A haunted camera. And as this haunted camera begins to take pictures of them, they all proceed to die due to their own character flaws and their immoral nature, meaning that in the end, they all die and evil wins. Even though it's not really evil that killed them, it's their impurities that killed them, meaning that if you want to survive, you gotta be pure. At number 2, we have Wish Upon. Wish Upon is about a group of teenagers who are a little bit unmoral and unrighteous for teenagers. And all these teenagers, they get together, and then one of the girls realizes she's being haunted by a haunted box. It's like a wish box, like a genie lamp / wish box. You know, it's a wish box that you can wish on and wish things. And then the girl realizes through her own character flaws that her friends are dying because of her haunted wish box, and then she dies, and then they all die. And the reason they all die is because they're impure. Purity is everything. If you want to live, you can't have sex and you can't do drugs. Stay a virgin. Stay a fucking virgin. And number 1, we have National Treasure, which is a really good movie starring Nicolas Cage. Fun for the whole family. Nicolas Cage steals the Declaration of Independence, proves that the Illuminati is behind the United States of America, and then sets Corona onto the world. Really dark, really desolate, desponding ending. But if you're down for dark movies, I would give this a shot because Nicolas Cage won 7 Oscars for it. You know, it's really weird, the stereotypes that are in horror movies. Should I change this into a video essay real quick? Yeah, I think I should. The reason horror movies became so popular in the 60s and 70s was originally because of its social commentary, specifically George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, which was about race issues at the time and the social justice riots that happened because African Americans were being kept from voting and because of the Jim Crow laws during that time period. But as horror movies kept going on and on getting more popular, mainstream studios began taking control of it and implementing traditional morals and ideals into them, creating ideas such as The Last Girl, which is typically a blonde girl who is an example of purity, who doesn't die simply because she's true to herself, true to religion, and true to her family moral values. You only survive if you're a virgin in this movie. Also, which became a stereotype, is that African Americans typically died first. There's not a lot of African American representation in horror movies or in cinema in general during the older time periods. This is because there is still a lot of systemic racism in Hollywood during the time period, and if there were any African Americans, they were typically utilized as comedic side characters or even servantile characters that were killed off before they had any usage to the plot because, quite honestly, the writers didn't really want them in the movie in the first place. So therefore, you have this idea of evil, whether you mean Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, whatever it may be, which is used to disrupt society, to disrupt this traditional morality, and he kills people that opposes this morality, such as drugged out teenagers, stoners, which are, they're the same thing. I just said 2 things that are the same thing. And it's usually up to the police, the law, the thin blue line that kills the bad guy and gives the good people a happy ending. But for some reason, these morals are still present in today's horror movies, even though things have been switched up. If you're looking at more intelligent horror movies such as The Witch, such as It Follows, or The Babadook, you get different metaphorical type movies that can be metaphorical for one's loss in religious belief, for depression or PTSD. But for some reason, all of the mainstream horror movies, like Blumhouse, like James Wan's movies, like all of the movies I previously mentioned, still rely on these old-fashioned and outdated horror tropes that are, quite honestly, really short-sighted and don't have a lot of foresight into what teenagers believe nowadays. It's why they're trash. It's why they're ass. These movies are ass because they fuse to evolve with what horror movies should be nowadays. Watch The Lighthouse. That's one of the scariest movies I've seen, and it's not even a horror movie. It's a dark comedy, drama, thriller movie. And yet the ending, the last scene of the film, is absolutely terrifying because of what's left to the imagination. The movies I mentioned don't leave anything to the imagination. They are ass. So basically, guys, the moral of this video, don't have morals. Forget traditional morality, worship Satan, and have a good day. I love you. Bye-bye.